Hello and welcome back to the Eyes of Oat Gaming channel for another spoiler-free, objective-based review. As usual, my personal recommendations will be in the last part of the video. How long do you think you could last in a post-apocalyptic indefinite winter? Well, wonder no more and play out that speculation in Impact Winter, a game which released in 2017, being developed by Mojo Bones and published by Bandai Namco. So what is Impact Winter? How has it held up? And is it worth it for a first-time player to pick up today? Due to a subscriber request to do some more survival-style games, we're going over all of that as we try to answer the most important question asked in this game review series. Is this one worth it for you? Sit back, relax, maybe grab yourself a hot chocolate to stay warm while we take a look at this one together. Let's get into it. So Impact Winter is actually a real term regarding a hypothesized cataclysmic event. Essentially, the concept involves an impact on Earth by a very large asteroid or comet causing dust and other debris to be thrown into the atmosphere, blocking the sun and causing temperatures to drop substantially. In short, an impact, which causes winter-like conditions for an indefinite length of time. The game Impact Winter takes this hypothetical event and creates a game around that concept. It takes place 8 years after an asteroid impact, which has in fact lowered Earth's temperature and buried most everything under snow and ice. The player takes on the role of Jacob Solomon, the protagonist, who is a leader of a small group of survivors who have sought refuge and safety from these horrible conditions by staying in a partially buried church. As the leader, it's your job to keep the other survivors alive and wait for rescue to come, while also attempting to speed up the rescue effort, and thus increase the chances of the group's survival. In terms of mechanics, it's a top-down adventure sandbox-like game. Basically, you've got an open-world map to explore and scavenge in, while maintaining your home base, which is the church the survivors are holed up in. You'll need to recover various supplies from around the post-apocalyptic landscape, with immediate priorities being clean water and food, as well as some means of keeping the base warm so survivors don't freeze. As you progress, you can also use the skills of the various survivors to upgrade the base to unlock new means of keeping them fed, watered, and warm, whether in the form of hunting or trapping gear, water collection sources, or even the use of technology to make use of more efficient heating, rather than just relying on open flames. All of this will be done while a timer counts down from 30 days, after which time the group will be rescued. Aside from taking care of immediate needs, you can also take on other tasks, which will reduce the time until rescue comes and increase your chances of survival. Keep in mind you also need to look after your own needs, ensuring you have enough to eat, drink, and get some sleep, as well as staying warm during and after scavenging missions. One other thing to note, if you found yourself asking this, is that the survivors themselves are a pre-scripted group. So in case you were wondering, there's no character creation of any kind, or any chance of unique or differing survivors. There's also no means of rescuing other individuals on the map to join your group. It's a locked group of pre-scripted survivors only. Graphics are unique and done well for a top-down style game. There are a few examples of a realism approach in some of the environments. However, much of the game takes on a dark or desolate cartoonish style. Keeping in line with the tone of desolation and the feeling of being lost or directionless, the environments will have very little color, mostly being due to the nature of the cataclysm, which resulted in an indefinitely long winter. Because of this, the overworld which you traverse will be a monotonous snow-covered wasteland, with most of the unique environments being expressed inside buildings or underground. So when discussing other aspects, we'll start mostly positive and then go a little bit more critical. Another interesting aspect in the game is the use of the Acolyte, which is essentially a multi-purpose robot that really feels like one of the survivors in the group. It will provide light in dark areas, help to find objects, and much more. The Acolyte does have a battery, and using any of its abilities will drain it, requiring you to periodically return to your base for a recharge. So now we have to address a very critical aspect of this game. It has many technical issues that still have not been resolved, and I assume will never be addressed given how much time has passed since it released. Many features are just broken or don't work how they're supposed to. I ran into multiple glitches and bugs ranging from simple graphical or cosmetic issues to broken features to full-on crashes. Nothing was completely game-breaking as I was able to finish the game itself. However, it does really add to much frustration and take away from the overall experience when playing the game, and I would feel like I wasn't giving you all the information if I failed to mention these multiple issues. Sound is done well for the most part. Background music is good and fits well with the overall tone of the game, and environmental sounds all sound as you would expect, with nothing standing out in a negative way. There's no dialogue or narration, and conversation or additional information is given in a text-based format. I'll play some examples of what to expect from the audio so you can make up your own mind on it. When looking at games to compare with, the first one that comes to mind is The Long Dark. These two are going to be presented very differently, as The Long Dark is a 3D exploration in first person, whereas Impact Winter is in a top-down format. However, where they really feel similar is the open exploration and directionist sandboxy feel. You make your own decisions as to what to do to survive. There are missions or quests that are given which will make life easier. However, it's ultimately up to the player to decide as to whether to take on those objectives to collect the bonuses, or to just do their own thing. Another game that I felt reminded of while playing this was This War of Mine. The dark survival tones are going to be very similar, having a home base with survivors and the need to head out and collect resources to survive. So now that we've looked at some of the features of the game, we reach the point of my review where I give a more subjective look at my personal experience with it. Please keep in mind that the following is just my opinion of the game, and if the features and genre seem interesting to you, you should definitely check it out for yourself, as not all games are for all gamers. The game that you hate might be the next gamer's all-time favorite, which is one of the things that I love about gaming. There's always something for someone out there. Okay, so did I enjoy this game, and do I recommend it for a first-time player to pick up?
60% of the time, it works every time.
I did enjoy the game, but I find it hard to recommend. The game itself I thought was great, the concept is really interesting, and personally I really love games that offer scavenging and base building. So what's the problem? The biggest is the technical issues. It's plagued by bugs and glitches to the point where it really walks the line between enjoyable game and buggy mess. This has got to be one of the buggiest games I've played in a while, and I think because I actually really liked what the game was, this made all the bugs that more frustrating. With a bit of polish and fixing those issues, this could be a really great game, and I would recommend without any hesitation. But you really need to know what you're getting into. Another thing that can be a little frustrating, however it does fit with the game's overall desolate and directionless format, is that the game is often difficult to follow as to what you're supposed to be doing for a given task. Many times the quests given have little information, and it can be difficult to piece together what exactly needs to be done in order to finish the quest. If you're able to look past the bugs or work with what's there, this is a really good game for people who enjoy top-downs and especially survivalist and scavenging games. The base building is limited, but also offers some interesting incentives to scavenge specific supplies. The countdown timer is an interesting and unique mechanic that will set this one apart from others and give the player a sense of accomplishment when keeping all survivors alive until rescue comes. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Impact Winter. Have you already played through this one? What were your own thoughts on the game? Did you agree or disagree with my own assessment of it? If you disagreed, let me know why. Maybe there's something I didn't think of and you can convince me. I'd love to hear about your own experiences down in the comments, or if my review showcase was helpful, I'd like to know if you decided to go ahead with it or not. Either way, if you found this video interesting or entertaining, please let me know with a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel. I make and upload a variety of gaming content, not just reviews like this, but also walkthroughs, mod showcases, let's play, and more. And I'd love to have you join the community and help direct the future of the channel. Otherwise, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today, and until next time, take care.